call Lisa Rainbow on you and tell her, you're not trying to be the biggest loser anymore.
No, I actually ate a chicken wrap.
Oh, okay. What, the new McDonald's one?
Yeah.
How was it?
It was okay. It's not worth it.
It didn't pass the test. It did not pass the test. I could just tell by your voice. Yeah, that's something else we've gotten away from, Frank. It was like the food stuff. Like the whole, that was supposed to be a small part of the show each week was the food stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I quickly realized that people don't want to hear my opinion on food.
There you go. All right. Well, people do want to hear their opinion on Jason and Layla. Jason, how you doing? Welcome to Totally Driven Radio.
Hey, thanks for having me.
No problem. I'm sorry to keep you holding so long. Are you a comic book fan?
Oh, no problem. What's that?
Are you a comic book fan?
Comic book fan? It's funny. When I always was sort of jealous of the kids that were reading the comics, growing up, but we never got into them, and so I never did. But I obviously love the Marvel series and the movies and all that sort of stuff. But never really got into reading comics.
It's cool though, especially the newer movies, that the Marvel ones. You didn't have to be a comic book fan to enjoy those movies, so it's kind of
absolutely
cool,
yeah.
But enough comic books. Let's talk about you. Is your sister going to call in, or are we just going to ride solo with you tonight?
She was supposed to make it, but she's trying to get here tomorrow for our gig here in New Orleans at French Quarter Fest, and trying to get a bunch of stuff done, and wasn't able to join. So I hope that's okay. She's definitely the more the funner one, I should say.
The funner one?
Grammatically incorrect, but
well,
but I'll do my best.
That was one of my biggest questions was.
Yeah.
You now have you're part of the whole movers thing. We're going to get into that, but I mean you have this new. Is this like a new group that you and your sister have started, or is this something that's going on for years?
Yeah, well, it's sort of happened organically over, I guess going back our whole lives, really. I mean, we used to sit around with my dad, playing in the living room, singing folk songs and old hippie songs that he wrote, and so that's sort of where it all started. Family harmonies and sitting around together, and then over the years, she's lived in New York, I've lived in New Orleans, and we try to see each other as much as we can. And whenever we do, we sing a little bit, but haven't really had a chance to do it, full time or anything. And so over the last few years, I've just sort of been writing these songs, and every time she visits, we get in the studio. I have a recording studio. That's my part of my day job, and she'll come and we'll chip away and record a few more songs, and now we have almost an album. So that's sort of how the process has gone. And then this gig that we've got here at French Quarter Fest is actually our first live appearance as Jason and Layla. So we're very excited.
Now, I have a sister as well. And for many people of our listeners that know myself and my sister, we happen to fight a lot. So to have a band with your sister, I mean, were you a brother and sister that got along for the most part? Do you have brotherly, sisterly fights?
You know what? And Layla, she's going to be bummed now that she didn't make it because she's not here to defend herself. So I guess I'm just going to have to. It's only going to be a one-sided story, but but no, when we were younger, really young, I'm not going to lie, I thought she was kind of a brat. But she was, she was the youngest, so of course she was the one that got the attention. I was the middle child. The middle child's always feels a little. The oldest child, I guess. It was the three of us. My older brother, he was sort of the go-getter. Had to do everything first and be the best. And my sister was, the pay attention to me, the baby.
Right.
And so I kind of. Was the quiet observer, I guess, and so my sister and I, we weren't really that close when, we were about 4.5 years apart when we were really young, and then when she hit junior high, she kind of got, started getting cool and playing music, and we both were playing acoustic guitar, and so we sort of bonded then, and really since then she really is one of my best friends, not just my sister.
See, that's cool. I like to hear because I see it with other people's families, brothers and sisters, they get along, or and they do truly become, later on as they get older and more mature, shall we say, they become the best friends. So that's very cool.
Yeah, we just, there's certain for lack of a better word, souls that you just, that you kind of get each other. And oftentimes you see family members and that don't really have that with each other. And so, I definitely feel blessed that we do. And, so musically and just whenever I, want to talk about something going on in my life, we talk to each other on the phone all the time.
Now, the music you guys are putting together, it's very kid-based. Is the plan to make like a kid-type show to go along with the music, or just music, or?
I do have these sort of lofty ideas about developing a television show one day that's got, kind of a variety feel with music and educational content. So we've tossed that around, and I do actually do video production, freelance stuff as well. So one day when I get the money and some, the planning together, I would love to try to do that. But right now, we're just kind of taking it as it comes, enjoying playing together when we can. And like I say, this year we're going to put out a record, which we're super excited about. This is, starting to gig a little bit. This is our first gig, big gig. And we have one music video out that we did a few months ago, and then we have another one we've filmed, and we're going to put it out when we release the album later this year.
Now, did you do because I was doing my research of you. You have your own company, Elephant Quilt. Now, did you do the video yourself, or? Yeah,
I produced it. I basically, hired the crew and got the crane that we used and all the different, pieces. And I had my friend Nate directed it, shot it, and did an awesome job. I think it was fun. We're out at the Audubon Park and the Fly and some real beautiful parts in New Orleans and in the recording studio too. The song's called "We're Making a Record," so it's about sort of being in the studio with your friends, or in our case, your sister, and everybody plays a different instrument, and you all have a good time making music together.
Well, you know what? You just talked it up. So why don't we play that for everybody, and then we'll come back and talk a little more of you and your sister and the show coming up at the French Quarter Festival, and we'll talk about your mover stuff and everything else going on.
Sounds
good. So here is Jason and Layla. We're making a record.
Making a record, making a record, making a record for you and me. I'll play the drums and I'll play the bass. I'll rock some guitar.
again, as soon as I hear that, I tell you, the first time I heard it when the MP3 was sent to me, I was like, wow, I can just picture that on TV with kids dancing around. You got to be proud of that one. You got to have that same picture when you hear that, don't you?
I mean, it was super fun to make that video. We got to wear some fun clothes and get in the studio and actually make the record, make the song, and then sort of translate that to this fun romp around New Orleans